It is now my pleasure to introduce the Mistress of Ceremonies for tonight. She is the traffic and entertainment reporter for Fox 45 News in Baltimore, Maryland. She has been a part of the Fox family since 2005. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a Maryland State Fair welcome to Candace Dole.
Thank you, everybody. It's so great to be back here and so good to see so many familiar faces and so many new faces as well. So thanks again. We're going to have a great evening, and I know it's all about to get started, the moments that you've been waiting for. So let's get to it. The contestants you have just met have already competed on the county level to earn their place on the stage tonight. They've undergone a rigorous two-day contest here at the Maryland State Fair that has helped them grow into leaders that will promote our agricultural industry throughout the year. During this contest, the contestants are judged on their farm and agricultural responsibilities, speaking ability, agriculture and farm bureau knowledge, personality, friendliness, and personal appearance. Tonight's portion of the contest, the public speaking portion, is worth only 30% of the contestants' score. During the past few days, the contestants have been involved in formal and informal interviews worth 70% of their score. Now, on to the contest. I will be introducing each contestant, and they will deliver a 90-second speech. Each contestant will then be given a question that has been taken directly from their application to showcase their agricultural knowledge. She will be given time to read the question to herself, collect her thoughts, and then I will read the question aloud, and she will give you her response. Shall we get this party started, ladies? All right, let's start with Georgia Bowling. Comes to you from Charles County. Her middle name is Wycomico. She was named after the river that her family lives on.
Hi, my name is Georgia Bowling. I am 16 years old. I go to Lopeta High School and run track and cross country. I am the treasurer of my National Technical Honor Society, the vice president of my National Honor Society, and also president of my Hot Shots 4-H Club. I also am a team leader for overnight camp and project day. I also help with managing the 4-H building at my fair. This year, I'm going to my 4th year of my biomed program at my school, because I hope to be a pediatric physician's assistant one day. Farming is a big part of my family's background. This February, my family was inducted into the Governor's Agricultural Hall of Fame. Since getting the role of Miss Agriculture, Miss Charles County Farm Bureau, I have visited local farm stands, thanking the public for supporting their local farmer. I have also visited ag classrooms where I made homemade ice cream and taught the kids where their food comes from. Also, I went recently into a Lead Maryland workshop with my uncle, who was part of a panel to talk about the problems of Maryland agriculture. I hope to keep learning and spreading the knowledge of Maryland agriculture. Thank you.
You've been a member of 4-H for 10 years now. How has 4-H helped you grow as a person?
4-H has brought a lot of opportunities in my life. Since I want to become a pediatric physician's assistant, I work with kids every day. I go to overnight camp, like I said, and I'm a team leader. And working with the kids every day has definitely helped me learn how they work and if they get sad, what to do. Also, I learned to be a better leader, talk better. I do public speaking, which helps. That's a lot of things. Thank you.
She enjoys dancing at On Your Toes Dance Studio from Queen Anne's County. Please welcome Bailey Riggs.
Did you know that 7% of American adults believe that chocolate milk comes from brown cows? That's 16.4 million misinformed uninformed Americans. My name is Bailey Riggs. I am 17 years old, and I hope to lead my generation into not becoming part of that statistic. I am from Centerville, Maryland, and am senior class president at Queen Anne's County High School. I've always had a passion for agriculture, and the industry has played a major role in my life. I grew up helping out on my grandparents' farm. I went from riding in a tractor to riding in a tractor trailer as my grandfather and father founded Riggs Transport, our family-owned trucking company for agricultural goods. I am also a fourth-generation 4-H'er. I joined Farm to Market 4-H Livestock Club when I was 7 years old and have shown swine ever since. I have also shown beef and rabbits. I have competed 3 times in the Maryland State Skill-a-thon competition showcasing my livestock knowledge. And for the past 2 years, I have been employed at Council Farms, a local produce stand and creamery. My future plans include becoming a physician's assistant while remaining involved in agriculture. As Miss Maryland Agriculture, I hope to educate the general public that through organizations such as Farm Bureau or even Everyday Choices, you don't have to be a farmer to be aware and active in agriculture. Thank you.
On your resume, you mentioned volunteering with your county farm bureau to educate 7th graders about animal science during Agricultural Awareness Day. What was your goal in educating the students? What would you do differently if you did this again?
On Agricultural Awareness Day, we had all of the 7th graders across the county span across 2 days to come and learn about agriculture at our county 4-H farm. My role in this was teaching them about animal science and helping them through a scavenger hunt about livestock. If I were to change something and do it differently, I would like to be more hands-on and answer more questions from the students. Thank you.
From the Calvert County, here is Annie Van Thompson. She has been working with swine since she was 7 years old.
Hello everyone, I'm Emmy Van Boston from Calvert County, and I'm a recent graduate at Calvert High School, and I'm 18, and I'm working, as a Miss in Calvert County, I've been working with other produce people in our county. I'm learning from Jake and Jake's farm stand and other farmers in our community. By working with the other people in our community, I learned more about the agricultural community. By working with them, I give myself more educated on what's going on in the world, or in our state. Matter of fact, I'm sorry. The more and more I see throughout the county, the more and more I get more influence. By doing this, I influence the kids in our community about what goes on in and out of Calvert County by influencing with animals and other produce in our county. Thank you.
You have been working with swine since you were 7 years old. Please tell us about the biggest challenge that you faced while working with swine and how you overcame that challenge.
The biggest challenge with working with swine is how you have to have more responsibility with feeding them, watering them, and showing control in the arena during the county fairs. By doing this, you learn more and more about what goes on throughout their systems, or what goes on throughout the swine itself. By doing this, by working with other kids in my community, in my 4-H club, I show how swine is like the biggest fear people get, but I influence them more and more about that in the fair. Thank you.
From Allegheny County, here is Kylie Cessna. She rides horses in barrel races.
Good evening and welcome. My name is Kylie Cessna, and I'm the 2018 Miss Allegheny County Farm Bureau. I reside on my 4th generation 700-acre beef and dairy farm in Deans Cove, Pennsylvania. I'm a junior at Everett Area High School, where I play soccer and take agriculture class. Ag class has allowed me to become a member of FFA. In May, I became the secretary of the Bedford County FFA chapter and was presented the Star Greenhand Award. Most recently, my FFA team won the Meats Evaluation and Technology CDD contest at the PA FFA State Convention. Now we get to represent Pennsylvania at the National FFA Convention. I have also been showing in 4-H for 8 years. In the past, I was the treasurer and vice president of the Allegheny County 4-H Livestock Club. I showed beef cattle and market lambs in 4-H. But unlike the sheep I show, the steers are from my family farm. I'm so proud to be able to raise my own steers. By having homegrown steers, it allows me to be able to pick breeding pairs in our herd and to choose new replacement heifers and bulls for our herd. I'm so glad that I get to improve our beef business on a daily basis. Other than cattle, I have a strong passion for horses. This year, I have been training my horse to compete in competitions such as barrel racing. In the future, I hope to take courses in college in equine therapy and agri-science. Lastly, I want to thank Maryland Farm Bureau for creating such a great experience for young women of Maryland agriculture by putting on this program. Thank you for your time, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the Maryland State Fair. Thank you.
You stated in your application that your Envirothon team won the county contest twice. How does your participation in Envirothon in high school relate to agriculture?
Envirothon has helped me immensely because when I was in it, my team members, we had assigned things we studied, and I mostly studied soil. So not only do we, on my farm, we don't only do beef and dairy, we do crops. So by me learning about soil, it has helped me think about where it would be best to plant certain crops on our farm. And also at my farm we have a sawmill, so I was also in forestry, so that helped with the lumber production at our operation. Thank you.
And now, representing Howard County, here is Mackenzie Harris. She is the treasurer for the Howard County 4-H Dairy Club.
As one of the top 5 industries in Howard County and the #1 employer in Maryland, the future of agriculture is bright. Hello, my name is Mackenzie Harris, and I live on my family's 4th-generation farm in Woodbine, Maryland, where we raise beef, swine, and chickens. We also have various crops planted and harvested throughout the year, such as corn and soybeans. Living on a farm really got me interested and involved in 4-H and agriculture. When I was 8 years old, I became a member of the Howard County 4-H Dairy Club, where I am currently the club treasurer. In 4-H, I carry the projects of leadership, market steers, market swine, and breeding swine. Nothing can teach a person responsibility like having a 4-H project, and that holds true to my experience each day. I'm a junior leader for the Howard County Farm Bureau Junior Showmanship Program and a counselor at the Farmer Brown Camp. Both these educational opportunities in my community teach young children about various aspects of agriculture. I am also a counselor at the Howard County 4-H Camp. Though the focus may not be agriculture, I have learned how to meet a common goal with a group of youth and adult staff, as well as teach kids based on their learning styles. I currently attend Glenelg High School, where I am part of cheer team, student government, and the Gladiators on the Horizon program. Through all of these activities, I have learned many life skills such as responsibility and leadership. If I were selected as the 2018 Miss Maryland Agriculture, one of my main focuses would be ag education for all school levels and being a positive voice for the agriculture community. Thank your farmer each day. There's no one else like them. Have a good evening. Thank you.
In your application, you stated that your family farm is in the Maryland State Preservation Program. What is the importance of this program?
The importance of this program is keeping farmland and keeping it from urban development and suburban development as well. When you keep your family farm in the farmland, you are able to keep it in farmland, but also get money for having a farm in Maryland. It helps keep the farmers producing for years to come and handing it down to the next generations, as they are the future of agriculture. Thank you.
From Hartford County, please help welcome Iliza Bremen. She works on her family's 5th-generation farm.
From horse-drawn carriages to global carriages to agriculture has changed so much over the years. Hello, my name is Iliza Bremen. I am from the 5th generation dairy farm called My Lady's Manor. Throughout my 8 years in 4-H, I have grown, and so has my leadership and knowledge of agriculture. I am currently a junior enrolled in Royal International Christian Academy, where I take volleyball and also take American Sign Language. I'd like to continue educating the public about agriculture. That is why I'm here. And I'd like to thank Maryland Farm Bureau, Harford County Farm Bureau, my Aunt Sam and Uncle Rob, and my parents for giving me this opportunity. As a Farm Bureau member, I take pride in being a part of the unified voice of agriculture. I hope that together we can raise an awareness of the importance of and the need for agriculture in today's society. Thank you.
In your resume, you stated that you work at your family's dairy farm. What do you think is the biggest issue facing dairy farmers in Maryland?
Harford County's milk production is 1/3 of what it was 20 years ago. Because dairy farming expenses continue to rise and milk prices fail to equally rise, it has caused farmers to become innovative to sustain their livelihoods. For some dairy farmers, this has caused them to go into venturing into cheese production. For others, ice cream production. And for the minority, breeding and genetics. Breeding and genetics is what my family farm has chosen. And I think as the future of dairy farming comes, we need to become innovative. And there are many options out there for us. Thank you.
Here is Cassie Bell. She lives on an operating tree farm.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Cassie Bell, and I am representing Anne Arundel County. In our county, we have a total of 381 farms, and out of all of our land, 28,111 acres is dedicated to farmland. I currently live on an operating tree farm where our trees are grown for lumber and furniture. I have been working with horses and riding them for 9 years, and I currently show in the Best Horse Show series with Miss Dina at Enticement Stables. I am involved with my school's agricultural program as well as our FFA chapter. With FFA, I compete in the veterinary science career development events as well as the prepared public speaking leadership development events. I plan to continue with the future of agriculture through taking the veterinary science pathway. I come from a long line of farmers in another state, and I am currently the 6th generation to be on our family farm in Ohio. I plan to eventually move out to that farm one day in the future. Thank you.
In your resume, you mentioned that you were a member and officer of your high school's FFA. What would you say to a peer to persuade them to join FFA?
I would tell that peer that FFA is one of the most beneficial organizations I have been a part of. I am privileged to work with the state officers who are here tonight throughout the future and moving into the following year. FFA has been a huge part of my life for the past 2, moving into 3 years. Without FFA, I don't think I would be here today, able to speak in front of all of you. The prepared public speaking event has truly helped me build my leadership skills and my comfort around with other people. FFA has taught me so much about agriculture, and I'm continuously learning every single day. Thank you.
She is the current FFA chapter president at Francis Scott Key High School. Please help us welcome Jordan Griffin from Carroll County.
George Washington once said, "Agriculture is the most helpful, most useful, and most noble employment of man." I am beyond proud to be a part of Maryland agriculture, locally grown in Carroll County. Good evening. My name is Jordan Griffin, and I am the 17-year-old daughter of Wyatt and Jennifer Griffin of Union Bridge, Maryland. I have grown up raising dairy cattle on my family's farm, and for the past 9 years have been a member of the National Holstein Association. Last year, I was honored to be named the alternate Maryland State Dairy Princess. providing me with the opportunity to educate the public about the dairy industry I so love. Along with my dairy, I also show beef cattle and grow vegetables for my family's produce and CSA program. From watering calves to bottle feeding, watering plants, and tilling the ground, I do it all. I am a 10-year member of 4-H and a 3-year member of FFA. I am the current president and past treasurer of my chapter and have competed in many career development events. This fall, I will be a senior at Francis Scott Key High School, and my future plans include attending college to major in agricultural communications so that I can fulfill my dream of becoming a journalist in the agricultural industry and educate the general public about the importance of agriculture in their daily lives. Agriculture is more than growing crops and animals. It's our heritage, our future, and as George Washington says, the most noble employment of man. Thank you.
In your application, you stated that you educated customers about the vegetables and fruits that your farm produces. Please give us an example of a time when you were able to educate a customer.
Recently, I worked the farmer's market a Saturday morning, and I got unpacked and I had all the fruits and vegetables out on the table. I had an angry lady come to me and scream at me because there weren't mangoes on my table. I calmly chilled her out and then educated her as to why the climate conditions are not capable for Maryland to grow mangoes. That is the real reason I believe public education about the agricultural industry is so vital. Without public education, we cannot safely produce for those who need to consume. Thank you.
Please welcome Kara Hutchinson from Talbot County. She shows rabbits through the American Rabbit Breeders Association and is ranked 14th in the country.
As the 4th generation at Hutchinson Brothers Farm in Cordova, Maryland, my name is Kara Hutchinson. I'm proud to represent Talbot County in 2018. I'm a rising senior at Easton High School where I'm the president of the Easton FFA chapter. I have found a love for agriculture and FFA growing up on my family's 3,400-acre farm where we grow corn, wheat, barley, soybeans, cucumbers, peas, and baby lima beans. We used to have a hog operation 12 years ago, and that's where my passion for agriculture started. I loved going in those hog houses with my dad whenever I could, even though I did not want to take a bath afterwards to get the stink off of me. From there, I joined 4-H, and 4-H is a huge part of my life. I'm the president of the Chapel District 4-H Club, and I'm also the junior leader of the Hopping Around Rabbit Club in Caroline County. My project areas include market hogs, dairy cows, rabbits, sewing, and state council. I am a member of the American Rabbit Breeders Association, where I am ranked 14th in the country with my breed Polish and first in the variety of ruby-dyed whites. This past year, I placed 5th in live judging in the senior division at convention in Indianapolis, Indiana. Thank you.
In 2017, you attended the inaugural Citizen Washington Focus. Please tell us more about this event and how this related to agriculture.
The President of the United States gets to sign many regulations and legislation into our laws so that we can have an efficient economy. Going to the presidential inauguration in 2017 was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. As you know, President Trump is still in office and will be for the next couple of years, and he has a lot of choices to make about agriculture in the nation. Right now in Maryland, we have our Farm Bill, and also nationally we have our Farm Bill, which is pretty scary in some ways because we have so many industries struggling, especially our dairy industry. We also have the trade war going on right now, and soybeans is one of our biggest exports to Asia. And without that export, our industry is going to start declining again. This affects agriculture because we need somebody strong in the White House who knows about the farming industry and what it does for our economy. Thank you.
Please welcome Annette Braun from St. Mary's County. She has played the violin for 8 years.
From the mother county of Maryland, hi, my name is Annette Braun and I'm from St. Mary's County. I am the 18-year-old daughter of Donald and Suzanne Braun, and together we live on an 86-acre farm in Mechanicsville, Maryland, where we raise purebred shorthorns for show and sale to 4-Hers and other producers. I show on the county, state, and national level, and we even participate in the National Junior Shorthorn Show and, of course, the Maryland State Fair. I also show market hogs and market lambs, and I am a member of the Farmers Fortune 4-H Club. My proudest accomplishments in 4-H would have to be competing in the National Skill-a-thon Contest in 2015 and the National Livestock Judging Contest in 2017. Both of those trips to Louisville were an amazing experience to represent Maryland. I recently graduated from St. Mary's Riken High School, and where I played softball and was a member of the National Honor Society and the Triad Music Honor Society. I will be attending the College of Southern Maryland in the fall, and after completing a year, I plan to transfer to Virginia Tech and study ag business and communications. My passion for agriculture has led me on my path to advocate for agriculture. Thank you.
In your application, you share multiple experiences working with show animals, from getting them ready for sale, prepping them for others to show, and showing them around the country. What would you say to someone who questions the animal care that your show animals receive?
I would say to someone that questions the care that animals receive, that my show animals receive the best care that they possibly can, from feeding to being washed every day, multiple times a day, and being under fans all day. I would tell them that they have been extremely well, they're taking care of me sometimes, get their meals on time, and I would say that they have great lives and they are well loved. Thank you.
From Prince George's County, here is Caitlin Nichols. She plays softball and volleyball.
Hello, my name is Kaylin Nichols, and I am excited to be representing the Prince George's County Farm Bureau. I have continued a family tradition by seeking an education in agriculture, and my parents have raised me to be engaged in my community. I have participated in FFA for 4 years, and I am currently the Sentinel for the Glen Park High School chapter. Within my chapter, I have represented the chapter at conferences and was the first Glen Park student to incubate and raise laying hens from my supervised agriculture experience. I also previously served as the FFA treasurer. I am also a member of the Junior Minorities in Agriculture, Natural Resources, and Related Sciences. Last year, I served as their ag ambassador for the University of Maryland Eastern Shore. In 2015, I was an intern for the Maryland Zoo in Baltimore. And in 2017, I finished as a World Life Scholar for the World Food Prize. For 2 years, I worked as a summer intern with Activity Farms. While on the farms, I worked with the crops, the animals, and the education programs. And I just finished my capstone project where I created a food forest tour. I also just completed my second session with the USDA Ag Discovery Program, which encompassed studies in animal science and plant science. I am grateful for all the opportunities I've had to further my agricultural endeavors, and I plan to attend college in pursuit of an animal science degree in hopes of becoming a veterinarian. I would like to thank the Farm Bureau, my parents, and the Miss Maryland Agriculture Program. Thank you.
As an intern at the Active Foundation, you stated that you offered engaging and educational programs to the community. Please tell us about your experience and how you educated others.
Well, recently, how I just finished my capstone project for the food forest. We just had a couple of high school students come in to basically, let me see if I can see this. Okay. So basically we had high school students come and do a dry run through of our tour before we actually set it off. And we basically taught them where our food comes from, and not just from the stores, but also from out in nature in the woods right now. And we have plenty of food, not just from other countries, it's right here in our backyard, so we're teaching them about that. Thank you.
From Caroline County, a young lady who loves deep sea fishing, please welcome Mackenzie Underwood.
Good evening, my name is Mackenzie Underwood. I'm here to represent Caroline County. I'm a rising junior at Colonel Richardson High School in Belleville, Maryland. I'm a part of the girls varsity soccer team, basketball team, track and field team. I'm a part of the Student Government Association, Spirit Club, and League Club, and will be getting inducted into the National Honor Society this fall. Now what I have done with agriculture. The first half of my life, I lived on my grandparents' dairy farm, and I would help milk the cows, and my favorite nights would be when American Idol was on, so we could watch Carrie Underwood on there. And then I would go help my dad feed the baby calves, and when I first started feeding them, I did not listen to my dad to not put the bottle in front of my face, and I got hit in the face by the calf. So then I knew to put it on my side. And I also helped my brother and my father clean the stalls out while the cows were getting milked. The second half of my life, I have lived behind the farm, and we actually went out of the dairy business and now have Black Angus and Arabian horses. On my mother's side of the family, I do aquaculture, and we have oyster beds and the Nanticoke River, and we also do crabbing. I have also worked for Harris Produce in Preston, Maryland, and I've also worked on Nice Farms Creamery. At the creamery, I was able to bottle milk, and I was able to sell ice cream at Delaware State Fair and the gas and steam shows around our county. Thank you.
In your application, you stated that you plan to pursue a degree in early childhood education. How do you plan to use your agricultural background in the classroom?
I would love to bring back agriculture into schools, so how elementary schools have PE classes, art classes, and music classes. I think we should have an agriculture class to teach the children the nutrients that they're putting in their bodies, about farmers, what we go through, the different animals, and all the different crops. Thank you.
Please help me welcome Alaina Harmon from Garrett County. She started her own meat goat herd in 2012.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Alaina Harmon, and I'm 18 years old. I come from Garrett County. I'm going to be starting Frostburg State University on Sunday. I'll be majoring in accounting. I recently accepted a position through AmeriCorps with the University of Maryland Extension Office in Garrett County. With this position, I hope to reach out to more people and better educate them about agriculture. I grew up on our family farm in Finsel, which is in the eastern part of Garrett County. On our farm, we raise beef cattle, our goats, and turkeys. I've been a member of Finsel 4-H since I was 7 years old. During my time with 4-H, I've had a lot of experience showing market animals at my county fair, as well as here at the state fair. Through 4-H, I have been able to connect with so many young 4-H members and really explain to them all of the benefits and possibilities there are in 4-H. During my time as a member of the Youth Hunter Education Challenge team, I was able to compete at the national competition in Raton, New Mexico at the Whittington Center. And I learned a lot of valuable life skills through that competition. In the past week, I also learned something else very valuable. We were struggling with our cows getting out, and I was building a lot of fence, and they just kept getting out. And in that experience, I learned that it takes a team to keep a farm running. And the same can be applied to agriculture. It takes a group of dedicated people to keep the agricultural industry alive. And I believe that tonight I'm surrounded by some amazing young women that are going to keep the industry alive. Thank you.
health of goats. Please explain to us what you do in order to ensure that your livestock is healthy.
My goats are like my babies. They all have their individual names. I basically raised all of them since birth. I mean, they are my little children. So I go out there every day and I check on them to make sure they are doing all right. Sometimes we've got a lift stall, so I have to go out there and treat them every day, multiple times a day, and also give them some antibiotics to keep them healthy. But I believe that ensuring their proper health is the best way to raise quality meats, and that's what I strive for. Thank you.
Lexi Josie comes to you from Cecil County. She is a demolition derby driver.
Growing up a part of the agricultural community has truly been a life-changing experience. My journey with agriculture began 14 years ago with a single horse and quickly grew into a hobby farm where I currently raise horses, rabbits, chickens, ducks, and dairy goods. I eventually got involved with the Cecil County 4-H program where I've been a member for the past 10 years. In 4-H, I enjoy helping with my club's Clover program, and I often teach the children about agriculture. Many of the lessons I teach I borrow from the University of Maryland's Exploration program, in which I'm a certified teacher. Through the Exploration program, I have had numerous opportunities to teach on both the local and national levels. I had the honor of being a teacher at the National 4-H Youth Summit held in Washington, D.C., where I taught over 80 youth from across the United States about agriculture. Outside of 4-H, I am a 3-year member of the Cecil County Junior Fair Board, where I'm currently serving on the Agricultural Education Committee. As a group, we work together to create various activities and displays throughout our fair week to ensure that our visitors have a great agricultural education experience. The title of Miss Maryland Agriculture is a really big deal to me, and I feel that with it, it would be a great opportunity to educate others on the importance of agriculture, and most importantly, help those working in the industry. Thank you.
On your resume, you stated that you taught agriculture at the National 4-H Youth Summit in Washington, D.C. What did you learn from this experience?
At this experience, I got to work with individuals from almost every single state in the country, which was a really big deal for me because I got to learn all about their agricultural backgrounds or their lack of agricultural backgrounds. They were all different ages from 13 to 18, plus there were a few adult chaperones that I got the chance to work with. And from this experience, I had to be able to present information to all of them in a way that they were all able to take something back from it, regardless of their education level, their background, or their mentality. And I think that has really helped me in my experience as my county representative, because talking with the public, you never know what their background is or what experiences they have had. So to be able to communicate with them effectively and have them all take something away from the experience is really important. Thank you.
Please welcome Lexi Beauchamp from Somerset County. She hopes to one day become a doctor.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Lexi Beauchamp. I come to you from Princess Anne, Maryland, representing Somerset County. I attend Holly Grove Christian School. I will be entering my senior year. I am a volleyball enthusiast, whether it is indoors or on the beach. My devotion to God and my family are my top priorities. After graduating high school, I plan on going to college and becoming a dermatologist. All my life I have lived on my family farm on a modest of 50 acres. I live with my parents and my youngest sister Reese. On our farm we have produced chickens and pigs, but mostly crops of corn, wheat, and soybeans. My father, Steve, has a full-time job, but also farms on his half-time. Thank you.
application, you stated that this year you volunteered at a food bank in Virginia. What did you learn from this experience? How is this related to agriculture?
In this experience, I learned how it helps a lot of people giving out food. At this food bank, I contributed out food that these people don't really have that much money. And this obviously relates to agriculture because these people produce the food that we hand out. It goes through these processes to make sure that the food is healthy to the people we give out. Thank you.
From Dorchester County, here is Grace Prinsfield. She is the Secretary of the Collegiate Farm Bureau at the University of Maryland.
Family. It shapes who we are. A person who has never set foot on a farm and someone who has never left it share this in common. In the grocery store, people make decisions based on what is best for their family. On the 97% of American farms that are family-owned and operated, they make decisions based on what is best for their family. My family is no different. I have lived on a Dorchester County vegetable and grain farm my whole life. I study agronomy at the University of Maryland, and I plan on managing the farm someday, all because of family. Were it not for my mother's passion for horticulture, I wouldn't have studied it through 4-H. Had my father not invited me to an agronomy workshop, I wouldn't be studying it now in college. If there is anything I hope you walk away with tonight, it's that the next generation of agriculture isn't coming soon. They're here now. The women on stage with me, the young people sitting next to you, are the future of agriculture. Please join with me in showing them that family was, is, and always will be the heart of agriculture. Thank you.
You were selected as the Maryland Farm Bureau Collegiate Discussion Meet winner this year. Please explain to us the Discussion Meet competition and its importance.
Collegiate Discussion Meet is a panel of students who discuss agricultural issues. This year we talked about trade issues with the current administration. We talked about the future of agriculture and technology. So students get the questions ahead of time and they're able to research them. And then they go into a roundtable discussion where they talk about it with other students. They're judged on what kind of points they bring out, how well they've researched the issue, and how well spoken they are. I think this is really important in preparing the next generation of agriculturalists in knowing the issues that matter. What's happening in politics, what new things are coming up, and what issues are affecting the farmers around them. Thank you.
She once wrote an article about a kangaroo farm in Germantown. From Montgomery County, please welcome Caitlin Gardner.
One of my favorite parts of the summer is enjoying locally grown berries. That's part of why I'm so proud to represent Montgomery County, where we're #1 in Maryland for total number of acres planted in berries. Hi, my name is Caitlin Gardner. I don't live on a farm, but I got involved with Farm Bureau because agriculture is so much more than just farming. My father owns a small landscaping business, and I currently work as a freelance writer for the Delmarva Farmer. This unique perspective from the business and communication side of things has given me a broad knowledge of agriculture as a whole, and has also inspired me to take a stand for local farmers by actively participating in local legislative hearings. In addition to this, I currently serve as the Maryland 4-H State Council President. My involvement with 4-H has allowed me to participate in dairy leasing programs, which provided me with such a thorough knowledge of dairy that I was able to achieve 7th place in the nation at the National Dairy Quiz Gold Contest last fall. Looking forward to my future, I plan to major in political science and journalism in hopes of one day becoming United States White House Press Secretary. Throughout all of my political endeavors, I hope to put agriculture at the forefront of my campaign because it's something that is important to every single one of us. That's why I want to become Miss Maryland Agriculture 2018, so that I can continue to fight for our farmers, not only at the county level, but in Annapolis and Washington as well. Thank you.
In your application, you mentioned that you were a freelance writer for the Delmarva Farmer with a focus on politics and agriculture. Please tell us about one of your articles that you submitted and how it educated farmers or legislators.
So, the first article that comes to mind here is the one that was mentioned in my fun fact earlier, the article about the kangaroo farm in Germantown. So in Montgomery County, we had a bill this past year that was originally kind of poorly worded, and it was going to ban people from being able to own any animals. Well, legislators, after seeing the hard work from Farm Bureau and how they were saying, hey, you're going to destroy dairy farms in this county if this is passed in this manner, beef farms, all of our agricultural animal practices that would be affected by this, they started editing the bill. And when it got to the 11th hour of this bill, there was a kangaroo farm that stepped up and said, hey, wait a minute, what about our kangaroos? Now, this kangaroo farm actually had a USDA license, and so they invited the county council out there to come see it. And when this bill was passed, it included the line, kangaroos, wallabies, and sugar gliders are not considered wild animals in Montgomery County due to their existing presence in the county and the absence of complaints. So when I heard about this, I of course realized I need to write an article on this. So I got to go out there and talk with them about how they educate the public on agriculture and their impact on it as a kangaroo farm. Thank you.
Coming to you from Frederick County, please welcome Tiffany Lenhart. She has been showing dairy cows for 8 years.
Just imagine a 6-year-old little girl walking alongside her dad in a 20-inch stanchion dairy barn.
Or even that same little girl getting thirsty during milking time and her grandmother pouring her a fresh glass of milk straight from the tank. If you haven't caught on yet, that little girl was me, Tiffany Lenhart. It was moments like those that I knew I wanted to dedicate my life to strengthening agriculture, especially after making the family decision to sell all of our dairy cows in 2006. Ever since then, I joined the Lewistown Mountain View 4-H Club when I was 10 years old and took on the projects of showing dairy cattle for the past 8 years, along with beginning market goat and swine projects just last year. Over the years, I have also been heavily involved in the Catoctin FFA chapter, the Maryland Junior Ayrshire Association, and the Frederick County Goat Club, along with working a part-time job at Nuvo Salon and Spa. I just recently graduated from Catoctin High School this past May and will be furthering my education at Delaware Valley University this fall in agricultural business and dairy science. After obtaining these degrees, I aspire to work for the United States Department of Agriculture. Thank you for taking the time to consider me as your 2018-2019 Miss Maryland Agriculture candidate. Thank you.
In your resume, you stated that you were a member of the Brown, Swiss, and Ayrshire Associations. What is the importance of these associations?
These associations are highly important in the dairy industry, not only to promote the dairy industry as a whole and all the dairy breeds, but it specifically helps that individual breed, which I'm a part of, which is Brown, Swiss, and the Ayrshire. And they really help fundraise for the shows that they participate in over the state of Maryland, which could include the State Fairground Awards or Frederick County Fair or Montgomery County Fair, but they pretty much work at the different county fairs to support the kids showing those animals in the state of Maryland. Thank you.
From Washington County, here's a young lady who says that Ayrshires are her favorite dairy breed. Please help us welcome Morgan Thompson.
Hello and good evening. Welcome to the Maryland State Fair. My name is Morgan Thompson and I am proudly representing Washington County. I am the daughter of Jeff Thompson and Beth Nichols. My family lives on a little farmette in Fairplay, Maryland, where we raise market lambs and chickens. I've been a member of 4-H for 10 years.
and it has been the best experience of my life. Through this program, I've been able to work with dairy cattle, market lambs, chickens, rabbits, and a guinea pig. I'm also a camp counselor through the STEAM Day Camp program at my county. Through this, I was able to teach the young youth in my community about the importance of agriculture in Washington County. But currently, I am a rising senior at Washington County Technical High School in the Academy of Health Professions program, where I'm getting a head start on my nursing career. So I just wanted to say, please enjoy the 11 best days of summer. Thank you.
In your application, you stated that you volunteer on the Ag Literacy Trailer. What is the importance of the Ag Literacy Trailer?
The Ag Literacy Trailer was an old Maryland Agricultural Education Foundation trailer that was bought by the Washington County Farm Bureau. On this trailer, we teach kids about the importance of agriculture and where their food comes from. This year, I was able, as Miss Washington County Farm Bureau, I was able to teach kids about what types of foods go on my plate. Either it goes in grains, proteins, fruits, vegetables, or dairy. And that way, they were able to learn, like, okay, so this is a vegetable, so obviously it goes to the vegetable thing, right? But, I mean, sometimes it gets confusing. Like, technically, a tomato is a fruit, but on my plate thing, it is considered a vegetable. So it definitely taught kids of like where things go on their plate, but also where they can get it locally. So I was able to not only teach kids about where their food comes from, but where they can get locally grown food. Thank you.
These contestants have done a wonderful job. They all deserve a round of applause. The judges are now dismissed to the tabulation room. Thank you. The contestant chosen as the 2018 Miss Maryland Agriculture will participate in the remainder of the state fair. She will make appearances throughout Maryland during the coming year, representing Agriculture and Farm Bureau. The 2018 Miss Maryland Agriculture will be presented with scholarships totaling $13,000 from the Maryland State Fair, the Maryland Agricultural Fair Board, and the Maryland Farm Bureau. The Maryland Agricultural Farm Board provides an expense allowance for the winner during the year. The 4 members of the Miss Maryland Agricultural Sports will each receive scholarships from the Maryland Farm Bureau Women's Leadership Committee, the Maryland Farm Bureau Young Farmers, and the Maryland State Fair and Agriculture Society. All right, this next person is a young lady who's been waiting for this moment throughout the evening. She has represented Maryland Agriculture and the Maryland Farm Bureau during the past year. 1 year ago, she stepped onto the stage not knowing that she would become Maryland's #1 agriculture spokesperson for 2017. Please show your appreciation to the 2017 Miss Maryland Agriculture from Cecil County, Miss Mackenzie Underwood.
And she's completely right about that. I had no idea I was going to win last year. And the shock, even tonight, from last year, 1 year ago, still overs me. I still remember the exact words she said the night that I won, and I could, every time I replay it in my head, and I can still feel the chills. So good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 2018 Miss Maryland Agriculture Contest. My name is Mackenzie Underwood, and I am the 2017 Miss Maryland Agriculture. I had the amazing opportunity to represent Maryland farmers and Maryland #1 industry, agriculture. My year started off here at the Maryland State Fair, where I handed out ribbons, talked with fairgoers, and I even did interviews about the fair and my title. After the fair was over, I did other events such as school visits, I did banquets, and I even attended special events like the Maryland Million at Laurel Park and the Maryland Farm Bureau Convention in Ocean City. My favorite event from my year was Day in Annapolis with Farm Bureau, where we got to talk to legislators about problems in agriculture and ways that they can help. I've had had an amazing year running around Maryland, educating consumers about agriculture. And I have so many people that I need to thank, and I wish I could thank every single one of you by name, but I can't. Because these ladies, they want to know the results. So, firstly, I need to thank the Maryland State Fair and Maryland Farm Bureau for number one, letting me hold this title, and number two, letting me represent their organizations. Next, I need to thank my family for all their love and support that they've given me through my year, even when my dad, who hates cows, had to go and milk for me. But it's okay, he's fine. And then third and last, I need to thank Miss Mary Amos and the Miss Maryland Agriculture Committee for everything they do during the year. So, ladies, I will stop talking now, and we can hear from many others before I start crying and get all emotional. It's been amazing. This title has really shown me what I want to do, and I would like to get a major in agricultural communication so that way I can continue connecting and educating consumers. Thank you.
Here we go. The fourth runner-up from Cecil County, Lexi Drove. The third runner-up from Garrett County, Alaina Harmon. The second runner-up from Carroll County, Jordan Griffin. All right, the first runner-up from Frederick County, Tiffany Lenhart.
She's so chick.
All right, here we go. The 2018 Miss Maryland Agriculture from Queen Anne's County.
I'd like to thank you for your support tonight. I'm really proud to represent an awesome industry and an awesome group of people in the upcoming year, and I hope to see you all in my journey as Miss Maryland Agriculture 2018. Thank you so much.